good morning, and happy Friday. And how have you been this week? How are you? And how are you feeling right now? Because we're going to be doing our Pilates flow of exercise that we've been doing, and we're going to do it without equipment. And I just want you to check in with yourself and to see how you feel. So as you're standing then, so just have your feet hip width apart underneath your hip bones. Just sort of roll your shoulders back and just check in with yourself and see how you're feeling today. So, do you feel tight? Do you feel loose? Do you feel a bit achy? How are you feeling? So if you just want to close your eyes a moment, place your hand on your tummy and just take a couple of breaths for me. And just check in with how you're feeling. Just open your eyes for me. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of a warm-up before we get going into our exercises. So both shoulders together. That's it. And then ripple through the spine. So bring the back of the hands together, palms up. So just rippling through the spine here. And change the height of this. So take it a bit slower. That's it. Bring it slowly back into the middle. So it's all about changing the tempo of an exercise today. So changing the speed. And then just rest that there. Bring your hands onto your thighs and lengthen and round through the spine. So this is being done really super duper slowly. So as you round up through the spine, just checking this out, seeing how your back is feeling. That's it. And we'll do one more of those. And then come up to standing. And then just round to stand. So I'd like you to just do a little bit of rotation, but I just want this to be quite loose. So as you just sort of let your arms spin from one side to the other. That's it. But do move your feet so that you're not twisting and putting too much pressure on your joints. So lift that heel. Last one here. Okay, so let's do this then. So just changing the tempo of the same exercise will make you work quite hard, or very hard even. So just come and stand at the end of your mat. Allow yourself to roll down towards the floor, arms hanging. Walk your hands out. I'm going to put my knees on the floor to start off with, and we'll take it up in difficulty. So bring your arms forward, bend your elbows so they brush your waist, and then you're going to come into plank, so feet wide and pressing into those elbows and knees. And then come back up for a cat stretch, and then turn your toes under and rock back onto your feet and coming up to standing. Okay, so just adding a little bit to that this time. So see if you can do 3 hand prints along the mat. So you come into that high press up position this time. Again, bend your elbows so they poke up to the ceiling, and then go into your plank and then into full plank. So knees down and come back up for a cat stretch. So really round through that back. If you want a deeper stretch, you can bring your fists to your knees and then turn the toes under. Now see if you can get your heels down before you come up. There we go. So down we go. So this time we're going to change the tempo by going slowly. So we're not necessarily going to make it more difficult, the exercise, but if you can take it much slower, you're going to feel the work. So this is where it's going to be quite tough, coming down slowly to the mat. So into plank. So get yourself ready, press into elbows and knees, turn your toes under, lengthen those legs, slowly knees down, slowly back up into a cat stretch, and then round through the back, turn the toes under, and then come and see if you can get your heels down before you roll up. Okay, so that was slow. So let's go through that again, but let's just take the pace up so that we feel the difference. So come into plank, that's it. Now by going quickly, there is always the possibility that you are going to, or you might miss out making sure that you're engaged and your core switched on so that your back is nice and strong. So let's just focus on that. So as you're rolling down and you're coming down with speed and then you're walking out. So when you tricep dip down, you really want to hug those elbows in towards your chest. That's the first thing. The second thing, when you do your plank quickly, is press into the floor with your elbows and knees, and then if you turn your toes under, you can come into that full plank. So then when you come into your cat stretch, you're nicely rounded through the back, and then turn your toes under and come and get your feet down on the floor. Okay, so again, we're going to do it slowly. We're just going to add a little bit to it as well. So as you roll down towards the floor, walk those hands out and settle yourself into position. So to add weight to this, if you lift a leg and press the heel out behind you, so it's not high, it's just lengthened out behind you. And then you come down as slowly as you can onto the floor, keeping good form. Then for that plank, so press the elbows and knees in first, and then you can lift your hips. So let's just lift one leg here. Knees down, come slowly into that cat stretch. Turn your toes under, walk your hands back to your knees, and just wiggle your feet a little bit so that you can try and get your heels down and then come up. That's it. So I'm going to do 2 more of these. So as you roll down towards the floor, that's it. So taking those hands out nice and slowly, get yourself into position. So we lifted one leg last time, so we're going to lift the other leg this time. Again, slowly, slowly, slowly working through. Come down onto the floor, into your plank position, so pressing the elbows and knees down into the floor. Turn those toes under, and then lifting a leg if you wish. And then pop it down, and just see how you're feeling. Working through this, turn your toes under, and then come and pop your heels back down on the floor as you come back up. Okay, so 1 more. So this is up to you to work as fast or as slowly as you want to, but whatever you do, just trying to keep good form. That's the important thing. So let's roll down, bending the knees, walk those hands out and come to that high press up position. So feel strong here, feel kneecaps lifted. So tricep dip down, so lift the leg halfway and then change to the other leg. That's it. So then into your plank, so elbows and knees wide. So elbows in, knees wide. Press into elbows and knees. Now I always encourage, come into half plank first and then full plank, because that way you can make sure that you've got your core engaged and you're supporting your back. Because with the plank, it can be quite easy to let the hips drop, and we don't need or want that, and our back doesn't either. So last time as you roll back, and then come up to standing. So just roll through your shoulders, see how you're feeling. Okay, so bring your hands one on top of the other, and just pull one elbow back, and then the other elbow back, and then pull both elbows back together. So feel that stretch through your chest. So lace the fingers, press the hands away, lift the hands, and feel that arm stretch, that shoulder stretch. So release that off for me. lace the fingers behind if you want to, or one hand on top of the other. Press down, and then lift those arms again, so you have a really lovely chest stretch here. So just roll through the shoulders. That's it, forwards and backwards. Again, change direction. So I'm pulling my elbows back. So as a stand, lifting, that's it. And then just see how you feel. So pop your hand on your tummy, just close your eyes a moment. Just check in with yourself. See how you feel. See if you're noticing the work. Well done, well done, well done. And fantastic. Well done you. Well done for joining in, changing the tempo of the exercise and just really feeling it and working into it and working with it. So brilliant stuff. Well done.